Welcome to the Community Hotline, for the community, by the community, presented by 88 Real Estate Media. I am your host, Bob Fang, and today we have the infamous Chow Mane.
Dude, what's up?
Why don't you introduce yourself, man?
What's up, everybody? Hey, first of all, thank you, Bob, for having me on Community Hotline. I'm Chow Mane. I'm an artist, recording artist, producer, rapper, all that. I'm out here in Oakland, California. I'm from the Bay Area. I grew up in San Jose, but here to just talk to y'all a little bit. What's up?
Okay, awesome. Tell me, how you been holding up right now during quarantine? You know, how has your career been so far leading up?
Yeah, I think
more background on that.
I think definitely it's been a time of reflection and a time to spend some time by yourself or with your team and just work on the craft. For me personally, lockdown has been actually kind of productive. I've been able to get a lot of stuff done. Been working on a lot of music. I know, my bad, man. Been working on a lot of new music. A lot of these home videos and whatnot, and just like trying to interact with fans a lot more. Set up like a Discord server, all that good stuff. So, there's ups and downs to it.
I hear it. Let's hit up our first topic, which is gonna be money.
Right.
I think a lot of things with the youth these days, kids coming out of high school and coming out of college, is that there's just not a lot of education on the matter.
Yeah.
It is, and most of the education we get is just from our family or our friends.
Right.
So why don't you kind of explain, what your take on what is money, and what is it?
Yeah, I feel okay. Well, so first of all, money has been always like a big thing in my family, like trying to get it. When I was growing up, both my parents, worked two jobs. My grandparents owned this restaurant. Everybody was working there. When my parents split up, my mom was like living on her own, trying to work two jobs. My dad was as well, and everybody's just like trying to hustle all the time, right? So it was something that I think I learned the value of early on, and as I got older, especially into this like music industry itself, where money is such like a big money is at some extent it's like whatever you make it out to be and whatever you want it to be. In that, like when you have X amount of money, you got to be smart in like how you're investing it and how you're spending it and how you're allocating it to different resources, or whether you're saving it or whether you're doing it to further your career and whatnot. Yeah, I think my bad if that's a little tangent, but no. I think it's important,
right.
Maybe it doesn't buy happiness, but you need some baseline level of it to be satisfied with your current situation.
Got it. How how has your relationship with money changed from when you were in high school to where you are now?
Definitely. Well, in high school, my only source of money, I was working at Hollister at the mall. And I was working at this country club where I was a busboy. So, I wasn't making too much. And then, now I went to school, I graduated, I started working a job, saved up a bunch of money. And in the meantime, was working through my music. And in music, especially when you're getting started, a lot of it is like self-funding your career and, trying to put in money into like videos, studio time, all that stuff. Everything really changed for me. I think there was like a pivotal point sometime last year when I got an investor who could provide some of that extra monetary income in order to fund certain projects, because especially in music, there's only certain things that are going to make you back that return, right? Like a video is not necessarily going to make you a ton of money. It's going to expand the brand, but a lot of the money is going to be coming in from doing shows, selling merch, a lot of this other stuff, which in the end, all the money is being reinvested into building something bigger in order to make some more.
I feel it. You're gonna start an OnlyFans account soon?
Hey, I actually just started a Patreon yesterday, and I haven't really pushed it yet, but I got my first super fan subscriber. So shout out to Sierra for signing up. But yeah, I'm trying to just help out the fans more, provide some extra services, so through Patreon, I'm doing like exclusive content, giving out discounts on merch, free stickers, all that good stuff. So, just there's a variety of ways to monetize in the entertainment industry, I think. And for sure, you got to be creative with the ways you look into it.
Got it. Would you have changed the way that you handled money if you could go back in time? What are like two things you would have kind of done differently?
I think I would have started saving earlier, putting stuff into, researching more about like, I don't know, like savings accounts, investments and whatnot. But at the same time, I think my past experience with money and I think with life in general has like led me to where I am today and who I am and what I know now. So I can't discard those lessons. But yeah.
I feel it. Okay. What about let's see. Do you have any like money lessons that you learned in terms of investments? What are you investing in right now? Or how does like an up and coming artist, like if someone in the community wants to come up and they're like, "Oh, I want to do this," what are some like tips?
Right. Well, I think one tip for sure is to budget at the beginning of a year and at the beginning of any like cycle on whatever you're trying to do as an artist. So for example, when I'm getting ready for an album or like an EP or whatever big release, I'm setting aside a budget where I have like a total, let's say like 10 G's for to push this album. I'm gonna put like X% in like marketing, X% in actual production of the album, X% in like um, you know whatever it might be, right? On these different things, and make sure that I stick to that, and make sure that each has its proper return that I'm supposed to be seeing. Set these like kind of metrics and benchmarks on like what I want to see. Like I want to do like this ad campaign where I want like X amount of people to see this video through these ads, and it's going to cost this much money or whatever. And definitely not putting all of your eggs in one basket and putting all your money or all your investment or whatever into this one particular resource, but also kind of diversify and put a little bit aside for yourself. Yeah, just being smart with realizing like how to allocate the money you do have in the best way possible.
Okay, I see that. I think a lot of people struggle with budgets, right? Like people just be out just buying Starbucks coffee and they don't know.
Yeah, for real. I mean, doing that really really makes a big difference, man.
I feel it. I feel it. Okay, what would you say are two defining moments in your life, and how do they impact you?
In general, or with money, or
I mean, just in general, or however you want to take it.
all right. Well, I would say one
I think the
the first
kid.
one I can remember is when I was a kid. So both my parents were working like when I was after school, right? So they could never pick me up from school. My uncle was the one who used to pick me up and take me from Salinas, where I went to school, to Marina, which is where the my grandparents' restaurant was, as a Vietnam War refugee. But he was listening to all this, all this stuff, and putting me. My bad. I feel like you know how Asian dads are, right? I just like I never really had like a real conversation with him until maybe like pretty recently, like maybe in the last year or two. But growing up, it was just like a lot of sitting around. We wouldn't do anything. Actually, he used to go on dates a lot. He would take me on his dates with him, but I would just sit there while he's talking to girls.
Okay. Do you have any siblings, or your only child?
So I have a half brother now on my mom's. He is 10 years old, the only sibling.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like you had a pretty independent childhood, just like most Asian kids, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, but now you're kind of growing into your own, and it seems like are you working towards a relationship with your dad? I like that. What would you say to some of the kids listening, who are kind of struggling having a relationship with their dad? What would you recommend they do to kind of build that relationship?
First thing is like intent, actually wanting to build that relationship. And second is, taking the steps, and it's going to be awkward at first. And I'm still figuring it out too, but like, being able to open up and seeing that they're going to open up back to you. I don't know if you've seen that Netflix movie, Tiger Tail, that Alan Yang did.
All right, let's move on to education. Let's talk a little about education. Education seems to be a pretty big part in your life. So, is it worth it? What would you say to some of the kids coming out of high school who are like, I don't know if I want to go to college?
Yeah.
Your experience then?
I would say that college is definitely a place where you expand your horizons. One, you learn a lot more than you do in high school, in whatever it is that you're interested in. And two, it's just like the variety of people you meet, and the network that's there can open a bunch of new doors, no matter what you're trying to do. Like whether it be music, there's other people doing music, there's people in the industry, all who are there. Whether it be, I mean, that I'm just speaking from my experience. So yeah, I think it applies for whatever field you're trying to go into. At the same time, I know there's like a lot of people who in high school and after high school have already set up like successful kind of ventures and businesses and whatnot, and you might want to just like keep that going, pushing that while you have the momentum going. But I would say in the long term, I think that, college and higher education in general is an investment worth looking into. I know, it's expensive. There's programs, um, community college as well. And at the end of the day, it's your decision.
Definitely, definitely. I guess. So, where did you go to college?
Berkeley.
How would you recommend? How would you? What about the kids? Who are listening and they want to get into a school like Berkeley. What are some tips? If they're in high school. Coming from somewhere gone.
I think the reason I got into Berkeley was because of the personal statement that I wrote, to be honest, because, I applied to a lot of other schools in the UC system that I didn't get into. And I think I had a story to tell in that.
What was that story?
I kind of just talked about my family, my upbringing, and I talked about the unique circumstances that led me to be where I am and who I was at the time. And so, I mean, I would say that I guess I do remember like reading a few other people's like essays at the time, and people were just kind of flexing like extracurriculars and like all this other stuff that they were doing in high school, which was cool too. But I didn't do too much of that myself, so I had to find a different angle.
Way, right? Apparently, I mean, you got it.
Yeah.
What would you say, for the kids who are just entering into college now, going to college in the fall, what are some, tips and tricks to be successful in college then?
I would say one thing for sure that I would have done differently is I think I would have gotten a lot more involved in like organizations on campus and like clubs and whatnot, because that's definitely a way to find like some purpose and a way to meet people who would be interested in like the same things that you are. My first like maybe even like 2.5 years of college, I wasn't like taking it super seriously, which I kind of regret doing as well. I was kind of just messing around a lot. But I think once I started honing in, I think, halfway through my junior year and deciding like, I really want to up my GPA. I really want to like actually get something out of this. And plus the classes I was taking at the time were a little bit more interesting. And actually taking school seriously, I was starting to see a lot more value in, what it was I was studying, how this applies to, shaping, I think, my worldview and shaping, what I know about how I see the world and everything. So I think, starting out, I guess in the end, it's all about a balance, right?
Yeah, being more involved essentially
is, right? Right.
Okay. Yeah. And then just to kind of, hit the note, what are 3 pieces of life advice, you have for the youth then?
I would say one is to go into everything you're going into, just make sure you have intention and a goal behind it, like what you're trying to get out of something and what you want to accomplish. Even better if you can write that down. 2, I would say, is to, I guess it ties back into the first one, but I think definitely like setting a plan for, what you want to accomplish eventually, whether it be in like 5-10 years, whatever, and then doing what you can to make sure that whatever moves you're making within the space are going towards that goal. Whether it be, you want to, for me, if I'm trying to like break into Billboard, maybe in like 2 years or something, what am I going to do to get to there? It's like I'm trying to get this deal here. I'm trying to, make a song with this person here, blah, blah, blah. Being able to set aside those actual action steps that are going to lead you along that path. And third, I would say definitely, I guess enjoy life and eat healthy and whatnot. I think, definitely taking care of yourself, your mental and your physical is something that a lot of hard workers definitely, forget to do and kind of brush aside because they're focusing on their whatever their careers or their whatever they're trying to do, So take every day to do some self-care.
Okay, I love it. Setting intentions, making a plan, and self-care, taking care of yourself. I like that. Okay. Let's kind of let's hit our last topic. You as an entertainer in the entertainment industry, I kind of want to give you a few minutes to just kind of plug in, some projects you're working on. If there's anything you want to promote, I was going to cut this up.
Sure.
So yeah, why don't you working on any music right now? What's the future going to be like for you?
So I got a lot of projects lined up. I'm sitting on a big old hard drive of a bunch of songs, and we're actually still trying to figure out the best way to release stuff. But I recently released a little EP called Love or Lack Thereof. It's a lot more vibey, lockdown, kind of sipping music with my homie Wes, who's a singer, and Mr. Hong, the producer. So that came out May 1st. Check it out if you haven't already. It's pretty smooth. It's a little different from past projects. I got this project coming later this summer. I think right now, tentatively, we want to drop it in August, called South Bay Summer. I'm kind of putting it on for where I'm from, the South Bay, San Jose, everybody there. We got a few features on there. Like we got I think Guap Dad, we got All Black. And so, that's going to be like a more fun, upbeat, bouncy project.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a few more untitled EPs that I'm still kind of crafting up for later this year that are a little darker sounding and whatnot. But right now, just if you wanna stay updated, hit me on Instagram, hit me on Twitter, Chow Mane or Large Chow Mane. Hit my Discord server, DM me. I got you. So yeah,
great. Okay, and then is the entertainment industry cutthroat? What is the music industry like?
I would say I don't know if cutthroat's the word, kinda, but I think it's more everyone's looking out for their best interests, which is as it is in any industry, So people are gonna do what they want to do and what they got to do to help themselves and their own teams, and maybe that's not going to be the same as helping everybody on the team, but yeah, I think it is what it is.
Have you had any like bad experiences with the industry, how did you overcome them?
I think there's definitely always been drama in certain situations, and I won't get too much into specifics, but on like music video sets with a lot of people, there's usually drama, or like especially when you're working through like deals, talking to different agents, labels, publishing companies. They're not always looking out for the best for you, which is fair. People are, companies are companies. They're serving their own best interest too. So I would just say, you always got to be careful and be cautious about whatever it is you're getting into and who you're being involved with, because, as with any industry, relationships are key. And, the fine print is key as well.
Nice. Have you ever had any like mentors in the industry during your career, or?
Not really. Not off the top of my head. There have definitely been a few people I've had conversations with that who have helped me a lot. Shout out Sean Wasabi and his manager Kelvin for like providing a little guidance. Shout out to Ollie over at 88 Rising for providing a little bit of guidance. But I think these are people that have been super helpful. I wouldn't say I've had like a consistent mentor though. A lot of stuff that me and my team have been doing, we've just been kind of figuring out on our own as we go along.
Purebred entrepreneurship over here. I love it. So you brought a lot of value today. What can the community do for you, right? What is $100 million problem that you have that, if somebody in the community solved it for you, it would change your life?
Oh, well, I think, I don't know if this would be for me in general, but I do think one thing that I would like to see more of in the world is definitely unity across races in America. I'm seeing a lot of stuff going down with in the Asian community between different communities, and at the end of the day, we all, I think, in this country and in this world have so many different like subcultures that are so different from each other that sometimes it's hard to reach like an understanding and empathy. But something that I would want to promote through my music and through I think people should be doing in the entertainment industry in general, is providing these messages and this imagery that promotes this kind of understanding between different types of people, and promoting this peace rather than this kind of hatred that's going around right now.
I love it. Talking about being unselfish. Are you an Aquarius by any chance?
I'm a Capricorn.
You're close.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about astrology, but
Yeah, what was that, January, right?
End of December.
Okay, nice. So so let's get deep into like what problem do you have,
Personally?
Yeah, personally, that somebody could solve for you.
Me personally, right now, I think I'm trying to reach new audiences too. One thing that I've been working on my own is kind of honing in my sound a bit because for anybody who's listened to my music and my last few projects, they're all pretty different. I don't really have a cohesive sound because me personally, as an artist, I like making everything. I'll make like an R&B track, but I'll make like a trap track, whatever. And stuff. Yeah, my bad. What was the question again?
What's like a personal problem in your life or in your career that is that?
Yeah, my bad. All right, so yeah, definitely. I think a problem that I'm trying to solve on my own is like trying to hone in on that exact sound that I want to get across, to most effectively communicate. I think my message and you know, yeah,
What
communicate that across to people.
what is your message?
I'm going back to one, putting on for my Asian American experience and exposing that to people, and using that to kind of promote this idea of empathy and understanding. Um, just having people who maybe aren't directly associated with a subculture that I'm associated with still
Right.
listen to my music and get this understanding of where I'm coming from and where other people may be coming from as well, so that we can have that shared empathy.
Got it. Got it. Do you speak Chinese, by the way?
I speak a little bit. It's a lot worse than when I was a kid.
Okay. Got it. You speak
Yeah.
Viet?
So I speak a little Cantonese. I speak a little Mandarin. My parents both spoke both. Um, but I don't. Even though my dad's side of the family all speak Viet at home, I don't know any.
Oh man, so they could all just be talking behind your back, like, oh,
They could. Plus, my stepmom's Vietnamese too. She doesn't speak any English. So, back when I lived with my dad that year, it was really hard.
there's probably a lot of do you want to eat? Are you hungry?
Yeah, yeah. I learned Ankom. That's all I know.
Got it. Got it. So basically, what someone in the community could help you with is linking you up with a producer to kind of talk you through like a specific sound, right?
Well, I think I definitely have a lot of producer friends who all have different sounds, which I all love. I think definitely something. If someone else were to do something for me, I would say just listen to my music, man, and help me give me your feedback on what you like and what you want to hear more of, and let me know what direction uh, you like the best for me because I'm just out here doing whatever.
Got it. There we go. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Before I forget, 88 Real Estate Media is looking for members to join the oversight committee to build the best mindfulness school in Southern California. Shoot us a message if you want to learn more. And if you do business in the real estate industry, please do consider hiring us. Chow Mane, do you have any last words for our audience?
I would say, appreciate y'all for having me on. Appreciate y'all tuning in today. And you have any questions? Hit me up. Text me. My number's on my Instagram. Yeah,
That's your real number? That's like
that's my number. That's my personal number. Hit me up.
guys, this guy, you got to get him in now. He put his personal number up. Hit him up on his Patreon, his Discord.
Oh,
Check out his music, his website. Support him. Buy his merch. Right?
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Got it.